Because I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to be honest. It's not easy. Everybody talks about it like, oh, all you got to do is put yourself first. And I'm guilty of this. I say it all the time. Choose yourself. Put yourself first. Prioritize your own self. And it sounds so easy, but really doing just that and choosing myself was one of the, if not the hardest thing, one of the hardest things I had to do. So we're going to talk about it today. This is what choosing yourself looks like. We hear all the time, choose yourself, put yourself first in the healing space, in the mental health space, in the recovery space, in the self-help space, in the personal development space, self-improvement, all over the place. Put yourself first. Choose yourself. And I used to be like, yeah, okay, I get it, right? I mean, it sounds easy, it sounds simple. But it wasn't until I truly understood how I continually wasn't choosing myself and how I continuously wasn't putting myself first or prioritizing my own self, I started to truly understand how to choose myself. I come from years of neglecting myself, years of putting myself last, years of not showering, not eating, not sleeping, harming myself, sticking myself with needles, ignoring infections, ignoring my health, treating myself like absolute garbage. It's really sad to look back on and think that that girl that I was had literally no idea that how I was treating myself was a direct reflection of how I felt about myself. I used to get infections like I got paid to get infections. Like I constantly had a new infection on my body. I would have multiple at one time, like abscesses and staph infections. Literally going septic before I go to the hospital and see a doctor, right? I used to show up to work, waiting tables, and do an 8-hour shift with life-threatening infections all over my legs. I would have multiple at one time. I remember I had like 3 on my left leg, which I ended up ultimately for these ones in particular getting hospitalized for. But I was literally limping around the restaurant, working, waiting tables, lying to people saying that I sprained my ankle. And in my delusional brain thinking that I just had great work ethic. And I mean, yeah, I needed the cash, which was the only reason why I was there because I needed to cop. I was like, oh, I'm showing up to work anyways. You know, I'd be on my deathbed, like deathly ill and still go to work. You know, that's how I was like conditioned to think when I was growing up. Like you never skipped a day of school. You always went to school. Even when you were sick, I had perfect attendance, all those things. So when I turned into a junkie, I still had that same kind of work ethic. So I would show up to work because I needed the cash and limp around like an idiot and lie to people. Meanwhile, my leg was like falling off. And now looking back, how sad. It was just me not taking care of myself and me ignoring my body and me ignoring my health and me putting myself last. Somewhere along this journey, I started realizing what it truly means to put myself first. And in the beginning, it was really fucking hard. I went years without showering. I would shower maybe once every 6 months. I'm not even exaggerating. I remember when my dad died, when I was up visiting my dad while he was in the hospital, dying. I didn't shower one time while I was up there, staying at his house. I was there for 3.5 months. I didn't shower one time. I might have showered once, but it definitely wasn't more than one time. And that was normal for me. Simple, simple things like cleansing myself on a regular basis and caring for my body. It was hard for me. It was hard for me to do because it felt so weird. I saw myself in a picture one time and I was like, my teeth look a little yellow. So I told myself that I was going to brush my teeth every time I ate something. Every time after I ate, I was going to brush my teeth in order to help that. And then another thing I decided was to never leave a dirty dish in the sink because, for obvious reasons, it looks chaotic and it creates a chaotic kind of home environment that I don't want to see and I don't want to be involved in. So no dirty dishes in the sink, brush my teeth all the time, shower on a regular basis. Laundry, was difficult for me to get into the habit of doing because, again, for years I didn't. If I if something was dirty, too dirty, then I would throw it out. I would go months and months and months wearing dirty clothes, not even caring anything about it. But that was how I began putting myself first. And again, it wasn't until when I started healing and actually truly understanding what prioritizing myself really means that I started to realize these things. And then another example, when I realized all the things that I was doing that made me feel like shit, that drained me, that I would not force myself, but I would go out and hang around people that I didn't want to be around, that weren't my friends. You know, years of active addiction, you kind of get used to people being around you who kind of only want something out of you, who, want money from you or drugs from you or something from you, and vice versa. So when I was selling, I had something people wanted. So I was constantly kind of surrounded with people who wanted something that I had. That kind of conditioned my brain to think that I had to hang around people that I didn't want to be around in order to get something out of them, to get money, to make a sale. And then I realized one day that, I didn't have to hang around with people I didn't like. I didn't have to hang around with people who drained my energy. I didn't have to really do anything that I didn't want to do, which was another mind-blowing aha moment for me. Now that I really don't need anything from anybody. And that's another way choosing yourself looks like setting boundaries. Choosing yourself looks like saying no. I never really had real friends, right? I haven't had real friends. Don't feel sorry for me. But I haven't really had genuine connections with people for years, probably since my 20 years, right? So when I began setting boundaries and walking away from people that just drained me and that I just didn't, I knew they weren't my friends and I knew I wasn't getting anything beneficial out of them or out of the relationship, period, I had to set boundaries. And one of the ways I did this was when I would, I'd give people a chance to prove me wrong. But if I would notice a pattern or if I would notice that it was, toxic and kind of dragging me into this toxicity that surrounded them, I would have to address it and literally set a boundary. I said, listen, I'm sorry, but I cannot be involved in that type of chaos anymore. I'm trying to better my life, and I don't like that type of energy. If you choose to heal yourself, if you choose to change and to want a better pattern or want to change your own patterns for yourself, I'm here for you. But until then, I'm sorry, but I cannot continue this back and forth with you. And I set that boundary. And it was difficult, yeah, but you know what? I've had to do that a couple times. And in retrospect, it feels so amazing after you do that because you finally realize how draining that person's energy was on you, right? And that you were constantly feeling the negativity surrounding that person. So once you walk away from that, it's like this freeing feeling. And it's in doing these things and setting an intention for yourself and actually following through with it that builds so much fucking confidence. It is so rewarding to actually keep your own promises. You put yourself first. You choose to do something good for yourself, even if you don't want to. Some people, I guess, lucky people, might look at this and be like, what do you mean it's hard for you to shower and do the dishes? What do you mean? Not understanding that concept. But I realized that doing the things that were best for me were the hardest things to do. And again, that is a direct correlation to our self-worth. And that was a harsh truth for me to realize, how little I cared about myself and how low my self-worth was. So keeping these promises to myself and actually doing the things that I didn't want to do, There's plenty of days that I don't want to fucking do laundry, that I don't want to take a shower, I don't want to do the fucking dishes. Plenty of days where I don't even want to do fucking videos. I don't want to make content because in the back of my head I'm like, what's the point? I'm not getting anything out of it. But it's the long game. It's the long-term goal that we're focusing on today. It's the ability to know that we're going to feel better about ourselves after we do it. There are so many things. I mean, cleaning, I could name a whole fucking list of things that I know that if I do it, I'm going to feel a million times better. And it's going to make me feel great. And I'm going to be proud of myself. It's pushing through when you really don't want to do something that actually is the reward that makes you feel pretty damn good about yourself. And at the end of the day, sometimes that's all we need to keep the fuck going. I mean, let's be honest. For me, it was. For me, it was. And if you can't relate, you're one of the lucky ones. And the last thing I'm going to say on this subject, I could go on. I can go on for days. I can go on for days. But one of the things that I do in order to ignite some sort of motivation, this very important question I ask myself that usually gets me to do what I don't want to do and to choose myself is asking myself, what would my highest self do? Because in our brains, we think of a goal, an end goal. We have a vision for what we want our lives to look like, right? This whole recovery and this whole healing journey and self-development and self-improvement thing is never ending. But we have a vision for what we want our lives to look like, a goal, an intention. And that version of ourselves, that version of me, who I see myself being in that vision, I ask her, what would she do in this situation? And 100% of the time, the highest version of yourself will always do the hard thing. The highest version of yourself will always do the quote unquote right thing and will always push through. Because when we think of our highest selves, we think of the highest version, like my highest self. I imagine that she's like this person who just always knows what to do, right? She always does the right thing. She always pushes through. She's highly motivated. She always does what she doesn't want. Well, you know what? She doesn't even have anything she doesn't want to do because she just always does it. Like she always does the next right thing no matter how she feels. She's always motivated. She always is driven. She's got discipline. She's got confidence. She feels great about herself. So what would that version of me do? That version of me wouldn't put it off till tomorrow. That version of me would walk through the fear. That version of me would always just do it. So on those days when I'm feeling like not motivated or I want to be lazy and I don't really want to do stuff or like I'm questioning or doubting, I ask myself, what would the highest version of myself do? And 100% of the time, I know the fucking answer. I might not want to do it. That version of me is always just going to do it. So when you don't know what to do or you internally know what to do, but maybe you're lacking the motivation, ask yourself that question. What would your highest self do? And I guarantee you're going to end up doing the thing. Because in the back of my head, I'm like, I know it's going to feel shitty if I choose not to do something that I know I have to do and that I know is going to make me feel good, right? It's like when you put stuff off till tomorrow. And I'm not going to lie, procrastination fucking can be my middle name sometimes, right? I'll put shit off. But I realized this pattern in myself that it's a lot easier still. And I mean, I've been on this whole journey thing for more than 5 years. It's still a little too easy for me to put myself on the back burner. It's learning really how to listen to yourself, mind, body, and spirit. That's how you learn to choose yourself. This video is all over the fucking place, which is pretty on brand for me, to be honest. If you take anything from this video, I hope that you understand that this whole concept of choosing yourself isn't fucking easy. So, like, don't beat yourself up. Give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up if you're finding it difficult to do the simple shit, like take care of yourself or Rest when you need to rest. Give time some time, right? Everything takes time. And choosing yourself is just as much of a skill as anything else. It takes practice, and you have to do it every fucking day. Every day I wake up and I choose myself. Every day there's something that I don't really want to do, but I do it anyways because I know I'm going to feel better about doing it. And after a while, it just gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier when, before you know it, choosing yourself becomes an automatic thing. So with that, I think that's all I have to say for today. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Can we just do a quick little life update? Because let me tell you, I've run out of water. Like, there's no running water. I don't know if it's back yet, but there wasn't any running water when I started this video. There's these fucking flies, like, flying all over the place because my downstairs neighbor just returned after being in Italy for like 6 months. Like, he's from Italy, and he wasn't planning on being gone for that long, and he just got back, and the fucking electrical thing, whatever, broke, and his refrigerator stopped working. So I guess he came back, and his refrigerator was disgusting. It was like everything was bad in the fucking. I don't know how you don't tell somebody to take all the food out of your fridge if you're going to be gone for 6 months when you live on a fucking tropical island. I can't imagine that's a great idea. But I mean, he didn't know the electrical outlet was gonna break and the thing was gonna stop working. But I guess he came back. So I'm guessing that's why there's all these little fucking flies all over. They're like literally all over my windowsill, right? Not windowsill, my window screen, and they're getting into my apartment. As if I didn't have like literally like a half an hour before I even started this, I was like crying, having a breakdown. There's a new moon in Cancer coming up this week, and I think it's fucking with my emotions. But seriously, I've been so emotional, and I think that's like just a part of my journey right now. I've been losing my shit, and then like half an hour later, I'll be fine, which is normal and totally, I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but let me tell you, it's not conducive to being productive. I've been so emotional, it's driving me crazy. And my dreams have been wild. Like, I've never dreamed so much as I have in the past like week or so, specifically the last few days. Just crazy dreams, people that I haven't seen in years showing up in my dreams. And then I wake up and go, what the fuck was that? Or like one night, I woke myself up. I think I was having a nightmare and I was screaming in my dream. And I think I started screaming. I know I did because I woke myself up. And then I woke India up. Oh my God, she was so cute. She patted me on the shoulder as if to try to wake me up because she was scared because I was screaming. Oh, what would I do? What would we do without fucking dogs? Seriously, I don't know what I would do without her. So I've been burning sage like crazy. Let's see what else. I think that's it. I think I'm going to shut up now. And hopefully this video will be uploaded today. Okay, I love you so much. Let's see. This fan is driving me crazy. I mean, I love a good fan moment, but I'm not trying to be Beyonce.